Street. I'm very pleased to meet you.
Hello.
Firstly, please allow me to congratulate you on the AFI Life Achievement Award. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Now, I started familiar with you from the film Kramer versus Kramer. You really impressed me by your excellent performance. Now, do you think you started reveal that the genius in your childhood?
I wouldn't say that my parents would say that. No. I came to acting late in my life, when I was in university. But I was always an imaginative little girl and loved to tell stories. And I was always interested in people that were different than me.
I was told you used to put on your mom's makeup and sit on a chair with a sorrow expression while you didn't feel any sadness at all. Do you think you were acting at that time?
Yes, I was acting, definitely. I drew lines on my face to make myself look older when I was 10 years old, 11 years old. And I look at that picture now and it looks like me now. But I was always interested in how older people felt. Even when I was a child, I wanted to feel what it felt like to be my grandmother. My grandmother was a big influence on me.
It is said that you first worked as a waitress at a hotel in New Jersey. Why did you return to acting then?
I did that. I was waiting on tables to make money to go to school because the school is very expensive in the United States. So I was waiting on tables to finance my education. And once I got to college, I was in some plays. And after I graduated from undergraduate degree, I thought that I should study an advanced degree to find out how to really act.
Was it your first ambition in opera?
Yes.
Why didn't you continue it?
Well, I was young and foolish, and I just wanted to be. I was just interested in boys. I got diverted off the operatic track, you know. I wanted to be a theater actress. I never imagined that I would have a movie career. So a theater actor has to be a versatile actor, has to be able to play lots of different parts. A movie star can be one thing, represented many times in many films. In fact, I think people like that more. But I was not trained for that, and I wasn't interested in it. I wanted to be a theater actress, someone who changed herself and her face and her voice to fit different stories. I'm interested in different stories. Yeah.
Why did you make decision on going to Yale to get your further education then?
It had a very good reputation, and it was, in those days, you could get a student loan from the government, which was at a very low rate of interest. And I didn't have any money, so I got the loans, and then I was able to work and earn this degree and pay it back. Now, these loans are not so available to students, and probably now I would not be able to afford that education, but it was a very good education.
I know you were called the Yale leading lady when you were in Yale, didn't you?
Yes.
How did you get that name?
Well, I don't know, because Yale is a very specific kind of conservatory education. So it trains designers, directors, playwrights, as well as actors. Most acting schools in the United States just train actors, but Yale was a school for everyone. And what would happen is if a director had his project that he was going to be graded on, he wanted his #1 choice. And this led to a system where it wasn't very fair I got cast over and over in different people's projects, and other members of my class were passed over. So it wasn't egalitarian, it wasn't equal, it wasn't fair. But it made me, it put a lot of pressure on me with my classmates. But I think that's why I got that reputation. I was cast a lot.
So you showed your interest in the costume design as well as acting,
Yes.
didn't you?
Yes.
Do you also design your own role on many performances?
I do, because I think a costume is character. I mean, we all sartorially put ourselves together, but I'm interested in that. Not that I'm not interested in fashion, but I'm interested in how your clothes tell us something about you.
Express your spirit.
Yes, in some way.
Now, what is your first movie?
The first movie that I ever made? The first movie was
Is it Julie?
Julia, yes.
What made a deep impression on you during that time?
Well, I watched two of who were women that I really admired in film. At that time, big stars, Jane Fonda and Vanessa Redgrave. I think especially Vanessa, I idolized her because I think her work is so beautiful as an actress. And Jane was an amazing big star in America. So I watched both of them. I was like a student watching everything because I didn't know anything about, you know, the marks on the floor. I would see the man come and he'd tape something down there and I'd think, why are they putting tape on the floor? I didn't know I was supposed to stand there on that mark. So I learned a lot on that. So anyway, audiences embraced this film, even though it's very difficult and very violent. I was shocked by it when I first saw it because the parts I'm in are very benign and they're just a wedding party, you know, and then a funeral later. But the scenes that they shot eventually, I guess, in Thailand were shocking to me when I saw the film put together. But yes, that was one of the films that sort of introduced me to the American audience on a large scale. Not very many people saw Julia, but many people saw The Deer Hunter.
Now, in the French Lieutenant's Woman, your performance is positively luminous in different two roles. Now, could you please tell us something about your transforming between the different roles in different ages?
Well, you know, The French Lieutenant's Woman was difficult because it's a story within a story.
What do you feel when you are acting?
I'm not aware of myself. Like right now, I'm very self-aware. Very self-aware because we're on TV and we're talking and I'm thinking, should I sit up straight? When I'm acting, I don't think about any of those things. I don't think. I just feel.
Do you ever go back to your own life to find some original cast for your character?
Yes, yes. In The Bridges of Madison County, I was playing a woman who was an Italian war bride, married a U.S. GI after the Second World War and came to America to live.
You have got a record of 13 Oscar nominations and the 2 Best or Supporting Actress Award in less than 30 years. I think it is really a miracle in Hollywood.
Yes, it is.
What does that mean to you?
Well, it means that the rules are breaking for actresses, it's very good news for women, just in general, because it means that you're not finished at 40. It means that there are so many rich and romantic and interesting and difficult and complicated characters that people are willing to see.
You said you never work for bad movies.
Yeah.
What is the principle of your choosing movie?
Well, it's a subjective thing. Just, you know, you probably have lots of movies that I don't, that are your favorites that maybe I don't like. And I have movies that I love that you don't like. That's what my grandmother used to say, that's what makes horse races, you know. Everybody picks a different horse. And it's a very subjective thing. But I have sort of a general rule that guides me in choosing scripts. One is if I feel that this character needs to be introduced to the world, if this is a woman who deserves to live on screen. And the other is it good for the world? I mean, is it something that is going to be beneficent, you know, out there? I don't like things that are necessarily meaningless, or worse, do something bad to the psyche of the audience. I like to have things that have a good impact on the world.
Is it true that you like to modify the play?
Always, but I
Always.
don't always do it.
Now, for example, in the movie Kramer versus Kramer, the clip on the court with Dustin Hoffman, you changed the dialogue of the play. Was there anyone claim to you?
Yes, it was the director's idea, because he felt he didn't like this scene in the courtroom. He didn't like the writing. He felt that it was inadequate. And so Dustin said, "Oh, I'll write it." And I said, "No, it's my words." So Bob Benton, who was the director, said, "Why don't you all go into your rooms and we'll each write a version of what this should be, this testimony." And so Dustin wrote his version, and Robert Benton wrote his, and Stanley Jaffe, the producer, wrote his, and I wrote mine. And then we all brought them out into the green room, and they picked mine, so I got to say it. But that doesn't happen very often. In fact, ever. That never happened again in my life.
As we know, you have worked with a lot of the great actors such as Robert De Niro, Dustin Hoffman, or Clint Eastwood. Now, could you please describe them visually?
Well, I was going to say, because the impression they leave on you is not so visual as visceral. You know, they leave, each one has great impact in a different way. De Niro is a relentless perfectionist, and he likes to go over and over and over and over the same small ground in order to turn over maybe one stone that had been missed. And you need stamina and energy to work with him, but it's always rewarding because he's so brilliantly intuitive. Dustin is like an explosion of energy. He has ideas going out in every direction, and you just try to catch them all before they fly away. You know, he's fascinating and contentious. Some actors like to set up an adversarial, a back and forth, a kind of a sporting event. Acting is a sporting event. And Dustin looks at it that way. He's a fierce tennis competitor, and he sort of acts that way too. And Clint Eastwood is someone who thinks of himself not as an actor but as a director. But I don't understand how people can direct themselves and act in the same thing. I couldn't do this, wear two hats that way. But I have a lot of respect for him because he did it so successfully.
The age probably is the biggest obstruction for almost every actress, not only in the Hollywood, but in the rest of the world as well. But however, it doesn't mean anything to your career. How can you do that?
Oh, you're so nice to say that. It's not true. I think that movies are a fantasy screen where we play out sort of our dreams, and we, as an audience, we look at the characters in them as idealized versions of who we might want to be. And so in that way, it's completely understandable that young and beautiful actresses and young and beautiful actors are the ones that we mostly want to see. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that we accept different stories more. I don't know. I think people are interesting. I don't really care what age they are. I think babies are interesting. Did you ever see this film Ponette? Ponette, it was a French film that followed a 3-year-old baby. I don't know how they ever, it was for a whole film. She was the lead character, and just a very serious film from a baby's point of view. It was just the most fascinating thing I've ever seen in my life. And I don't know, I'm interested in all people, and what they look like is like the least important thing to me.
Do you love challenge particularly?
I think I do. I think I do. I think I always am trying to be a better actor and to have acting teach me more about living and about life. You know, like any art form, it is only interesting if it enhances your living, your understanding of life.
Now, people usually divide actors into two different kinds. One is attractive and the other is intelligent. You certainly are an intelligent actress. Does that mean you are not pretty? What do you think of that?
Well, I've never played the pretty card as my strongest suit. When I'm playing cards, you know, pretty isn't the one that I'm most interested in. I'm, you know, enchanted as anyone by a beautiful woman or a beautiful man, but it's the quality of their character that interests me, that intrigues me, because the surface goes away.
Now, we just mentioned that you never work for the bad news. Furthermore, you do like play advertisement. Is that true?
I've done one commercial in my life. It was for American Express, and it was to benefit, the money went to benefit a school. But I've not ever done it again.
So, in my opinion, financially, it was not that good idea, especially for a family of 4 children.
Well, it was a very good idea for the school, and I had plenty of money, so it wasn't a problem.
Now, you know, the bridges of Madison County is very, very popular in China. You did an appropriate job as a dowdy farm wife who finds implicit love with a photography. Now, could I have a question that if you have met such a attractive person in your own life, and what will you do if you meet such a attractive man?
Well, I think I'm meeting one right now. And I'll do nothing about it.
My next question is, as you know, most Hollywood movies prefer choosing some wasteful lifestyle. On the contrast, we lived in a house in the Little Italy district, which is a workshop even without elevator. Why?
Well, that was when I was starting out. Now I live very well. And we live in New York City. And we have a house, a summer house in Connecticut, which is where we used to live all the time. But I like to, I take the subway in my city. I don't like to ride around in limousine. I like to do my own ironing. I don't know how you can be an actor if you don't have your hands on your own life in a certain way, in sort of those ways, you know.
I think you're probably the only one movie star in Hollywood without any gossip. How can you avoid that?
Well, I don't think people gossip about old women. I don't know. You have to, in a way, go to a lot of parties or something. I don't know. I don't do drugs. I'm not interested in it.
Could you talk about your family?
Yes. What would you like to know?
I know your husband is a sculptor. Now,
Yes.
which character attracted you, he or his job?
Well, he's a beautiful sculptor. He really is. His gift is something I don't understand because it's so self-generated, you know. I work in a film environment where there are lots of people, lots of activity. But he goes every day to a studio all alone, and nobody makes him start working, and nobody makes him stop. But for 25 years, as long as I've known him, he gets up every morning and goes alone and invents these works and does them so beautifully. And my children, I have 4 children. A son, my oldest, is 24. He's studying to be an actor and a musician. And my daughters are 20 and 18, and one just turned 13 in Shanghai.
So this time you come to Shanghai with husband and 3 daughters.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Do you stay at home all the time if you didn't have work anymore?
I do. I like to be home. I have lots of friends, and but working when I'm filming is like a vacation, because for an actor, a lot of the time you spend when you're not working is looking to find new work, and enables me to be at home more with my family.